Let's do it.
Finger one, finger two.
Three, two,
two,
one,
go.
go. What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 63. As my robot companion who hiccuped said, and I'm so sorry to keep you guys waiting. I know it's been 2 weeks, but we are back finally, and ready to get down. Apparently, Bryce is
I'm hype as fuck.
he's hyphy, I think is what it's
I'm
called.
also I'm hyphy.
Yeah,
I'm tired. I'm ready to have a good time. I missed you guys.
yeah,
Missed
for
you
sure.
too, man.
No
And-
more. I'm gonna put a rule out there. No more babies.
Yeah, for real, man. I mean, I can't believe you sprung that on us,
I'm
but
good with
whatever.
that, bro.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely good with that.
All of a sudden, you're just like, oh, by the way, baby. And we're like, oh,
Yeah, I'm like, I thought it took 9 months.
That's about how it was sprung on me. So
Is that? Hold on.
if only
I
we
would
didn't
love
make
to
an
talk
episode
about that.
specifically announcing.
Yeah, we did.
right.
We did. I would
We're
love to know
so
though, like, how did she tell? When you originally found out, was she like, I'm pregnant, or
Did she
baby?
pull out the thing and be like, look what you did to me?
Yeah, is that what happened?
Look at it.
I honestly can't remember.
You
Yeah,
remember? Where's
I
my
can't.
camera?
Yeah.
you know,
I mean, it was a while ago.
I was about to say, yeah.
It
When it
was
was
a little
funny,
bit
Jordan,
ago.
the only one I actually remember is finding out about my oldest daughter, and that's 14 years ago. I remember that.
Really?
Mhm.
Yeah, because it was semi-traumatizing. I was a fucking kid.
True. That's right. You were
You
a
know?
You
little
were what, like
happy
41, right?
I fucking hate you.
Look, it was she was 14, right? She's
Yeah.
14 now.
Mm.
So that means that you found out when you were 31. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, just about.
No,
Yeah. No, that
I'm-
checks out. The math checks out.
Math checks out for
I'm-
sure. Yeah.
I'm 30 something or other now. I was 19, you motherfuckers. But anyway,
That's not really a kid, though, is it?
19 for a baby? Yes.
fuck
yes,
yeah,
that is a
dude.
kid.
Are you kidding me? I was
would
like,
say 16 as a kid.
Yeah, 16's a kid, 17's a kid, 18's a kid, 19's a kid. You're a kid when you're having a baby until you're like 23 because that's when you finally start to get the beginnings of your shit together. Anything before then, nope.
and I
disagree.
honestly, I would have preferred baby at like 25 or 26. You
How
know,
old was I? I think I was 22, 23.
Yeah. If you were 22, you were a kid. If you were 23, all right.
Not a
it's
kid,
around the
yeah.
time.
so it's like
yeah.
kid, not a kid. There's no in between, unless
let's
you
face
had a
it.
finger in your butthole, in which case you're an adult at whatever point that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At
I
that
guess that's
point,
the thing.
I don't ever want to grow up.
Yeah.
I don't want to grow up. I just want to stay a buttless kid.
Let's get no butt for you.
No. But you gotta think about it in this way, right? So like you don't have legal drinking until you're 21.
True.
So you're doing all the sketchy, stupid kid shit to get alcohol before then. Then
Yeah.
after 21, you have like a year of I can drink whenever, so fuck it, I'm gonna do it or whatever, right? So you have at least a year of that bullshit.
That's true.
Yeah. And then from 22 to 23, you're finally starting to like realize, oh, I have to do other shit with my life.
Yeah,
And then right at 23, right at 23, that's when you're like, all right, I'm kind of over that stuff. I still do it every now and then, but it's not my whole life. Let me start building a career. Let me start working towards something.
I
that's why
guess I
23
do
is a good
things.
number.
Yeah, 23 is a good number, except for like mine happened in steep ups and downs. You know,
Yeah.
right? Like 19, fucked up half the time. Sorry, microphone boom. I apologize
Yeah,
for
that
everybody's
that
ears.
was part of the half the time.
There is yeah. So I'm like, yeah, look at me, fucking 19, driving my car around, pregnant. Fuck. Okay. Baby's cool. Skylar's awesome. You guys have all met her.
Yeah.
And so that's cool. But I was then insta poor at 19 for several years.
Truth.
And it was hard because like I'm talking, I was like, dope. I make $8 an hour. You know what I mean? Like,
I've made it.
I remember
Yeah.
those days. Yeah.
and then finally make it up good. You got a nice place, yada yada, right? Boom, another baby. Back to fucking poor. Like, what
Back.
the fuck?
Or-
No, 6 years later, I have too much Star Wars nerd stuff, so I'm back again. You know,
Guess who's back? Back
again.
Jordan had another
Yeah.
baby. Tell
a
his
friend.
Done.
About the PBnJ podcast.
Oh,
Thank you for sharing us.
Shameless plug.
Yeah,
I like
right.
it.
Shameless plug.
Sometimes you got a shameless plug. I mean, it's the first episode in 2 weeks, so
Yeah,
you got to plug yourself.
and I would like to, and everyone knows we're probably fully prepared as well. You know,
Oh,
Yeah, we
of
had
course.
2 weeks to do research, find things to talk
Oh,
about. We totally, yeah. So what are you guys talking about? I have everything ready. Totally.
Yeah.
I'm not googling it. What are you talking? Stall.
Actually, no. Okay. Again, I think Deltona's a nice place to live. However, I will say that last night, they did have a nice portion of near me evacuated.
Really?
Why?
Yeah, nothing serious. Nothing serious.
Just a bomb.
It was a bomb. No,
It
there
was a bomb. Okay.
What?
I was just joking, but all right.
So I guess this guy called and made like an anonymous bomb threat to the Volusia County, I think the police station. I don't know. I'm not looking at the story, and I read it, on Facebook. I watched the Facebook Live thing because the news does that now because they get our generation.
Yeah, because they understand that if they want someone to see
Thankfully.
the news, they just do it on Facebook, and everyone sees it and shares it.
Yeah. But well, fuck the people that are sharing the news because they're stupid. No, I mean, I'm talking about the Facebook Live stuff is pretty cool. So
yeah,
and we're gonna we need to talk about that in a second too.
Okay.
So I'm watching. I was like, man, that's crazy. I'm like, oh, where's that at? Literally down the road. Like it's like right fucking.
Huh.
Really?
That looks kind of like. Is that my house in that shot?
Why are the cops knocking at my door telling me to please evacuate? No, that didn't happen. It was far enough, for like mile or whatever. But I guess the guy was in a standoff with the cops. So, then they had the bomb people in there and the fucking SWAT team in there and all that shit. And it's Volusia County, so I'm sure like they had to wait for the SWAT guy to stop being drunk or something. And then
wake up, put on his boots.
well, I mean, in their defense, they were probably expecting like, chill fucking Monday night or Tuesday night or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was right down the fucking street for me. I was like,
That's crazy.
It is crazy. So it brings up the question. Cops come to your door. They're like, we need you to evacuate. There's a possible bomb. Do you go, and do you have the right to say I don't want to go? Like if for whatever reason you don't want to leave your house.
I believe you do have the right to refuse.
Up to a certain point. Because I know with like hurricane stuff, there is a point where they'll take you away.
Yeah, there are mandatory. I know that.
So if they can upgrade it to a mandatory evacuation to where the governor steps in and says, hey, I give them authority to kick you out, you better leave.
But I think before they can do that, it would have to be like 110% concrete proof that yes, there is.
Yeah, the only time the governor is going to be like, yeah, evacuate is if there's a bomb and you are refusing and they are like, we need you to tell them to leave.
Okay, but does the governor, that has to be an executive order from the governor. That can't be.
Yes. They have to be like mandatory evacuation. Anything before that is just like a suggestion.
Yeah,
a strong suggestion.
If they cordon off an area and you're trying to go home, you can't go home once you've left.
Let me text
I found that out when there was a bomb threat in my apartments back in the Gap. And I had to bring all my groceries to our job. Do you remember that?
No.
Yeah, at Company Redacted, there was a day where I went out to get groceries, and a bomb threat happened at my apartment complex. So they apartment complex.
Shit.
Oh wait, yeah, I remember that.
And I couldn't go home. They wouldn't let me go home, so I had to drive. I was like, I need to refrigerate my groceries, and I was like, Company Redacted has fridges.
Big ass.
Maybe they'll be cool. So I showed up and I was like, hey, listen, I work here. Not today, though. Here's the thing. I got a truck full of groceries and my apartment's under bomb watch. I don't know when it's lifted. I don't want my shit to melt and go bad. Can I use your fridges? And the big director manager guy, who I won't name, but he was really cool about it. He was like, yeah, put your groceries in the fridge. What are you talking about? Yeah, come in. And I was like, thanks, man. Because he was cool. He was probably like he's one of my favorite bosses.
He really is. He's probably one of the best
out of that shithole.
And honestly,
for me,
in
not
almost any shithole. No, I don't care about everyone. I don't. Really
no, I know.
I mean, but for any shithole, he would be a good boss to have.
Yeah, he would be a good boss.
I'd agree
so
with
I threw my groceries in, and I spent like 4 hours in the game room while they figured shit out. So I can say with 100% certainty, if they evacuate an area and you come across it, you can't go back in, but you can refuse if you're already in.
Yeah. Okay. So the other thing is like, would you, or at least at what distance would you say? Nah. I mean,
it depends. It really depends because if they're coming to my door to tell me to evacuate, that means it's within one estimated blast zone. To where shrapnel could come through and bust through my window and pin me against the wall or something.
Okay.
So while the chances may be slim, I'm not the guy to play Russian roulette with that shit just so I can sit on my couch for a little bit longer. That couch will be there, hopefully, if the bomb doesn't go off.
True. For me, I would say the same, especially with kids.
But only with my kids and my wife, right? So if I was just here.
By yourself.
Right? They would be like, yeah. I'd be like, where? There. I'd be like, okay. And I'd come like to this room, for example, where I am, where there's several rooms.
There's rooms in between. You're like, all right, I'm safe.
Yeah. And then just lay down while you watch TV.
Exactly.
I mean, that's true. That's true. That's my only thing is I would have to have a planned place to go because bomb threats don't end quickly usually because they have to check every square
that
inch
fucking shit went on for hours though.
Yeah. I mean, it was 4 hours for mine. And then I can imagine for theirs, that would have to be a long time too, because there's so many cars you'd have to check under to see if someone hid it under a car. So many like benches and shit. Like, oh my god.
Yeah. Well, we don't have benches. Calm down with the.
I'm sorry.
Pushed over garbage cans.
Yeah. Pushed over garbage cans and like
no. Recycling
homeless tents.
Fuckers. you flip the recycling bin over. And that's what we call the Deltona fucking
invented to hell shopping carts.
Yeah.
So many shopping carts. There's a Walmart shopping cart on the side of the road. The Walmart is like 12 miles away. How it got there? There was a homeless person.
How does that happen though? For real?
Because they lock up the moment they leave the thing. They have like auto brakes where if they're outside of the range, the brakes kick in.
But they? Because I've never seen that in action.
Not out here. But I've seen the ones that are like that, like at what's that store where they're so cheap they make you put a quarter in the thing to use Aldi's. Thank you.
Aldi's.
Okay, they're cheap, but those cheap bastards, please pay us a quarter to use our cart. Fuck you. So
you get the quarter back.
You get the quarter back.
Yeah, but then I have to have a quarter.
Well, yeah, that's the downside. But the reason why is then they don't have to pay employees to go pick up carts because we'll return it for our quarterback.
Well, yeah, which is a good idea.
And then the groceries are lower, which is what I love.
There's fucking carts all over their parking lot anyway, so flawed logic.
Yeah, because people are lazy. But you know what? By the end of the day, there's a homeless person with like $2 of change because they grabbed all the carts.
Yeah, that's true. But now those fucking lock. And I've never tested it, but I really want to like full speed launch one out of a parking lot and just see if it like does it just magically stop, or does it like
push forward?
It stops and it lifts up a little bit, but the weight of the cart, you'd have to like have a lot of force to get it to flip over itself.
I wonder
if go buy a bunch of fireworks.
Back like a dog with a shock collar.
I want to strap a bunch of fucking bottle rockets to the back of it. All these cart. I need one of you guys to bring a quarter though.
Well, actually, there's a life hack for that where someone uses their house key, and it works. I'd be scared to lose my key.
Yeah. What if your key
gets like an S shape though? How would you get it in there?
Specially.
No. The back of the key.
Oh, I get you.
Where it's round and fat.
Yeah,
you just
I get you.
Whoa.
You don't look. What? Sometimes you just need something round and fat. Just shove it in. I don't know why you're being weird about it.
That's what I was all right.
I know what you were doing.
Man,
I'm letting you know sometimes you need that. So
yeah, I do. You're right. So anyway, moving the fuck on. What else are we doing? I think that the biggest thing right now is Jordan's miniature jelly jar.
Yeah, I wanna hear all about the birthing process.
Yeah, we're not fucking talking about that.
We're gonna skip right over if that's what you want to know.
Yeah, let's skip over that part.
That stuff's gross.
And that was just a joke.
Yeah, but okay. So you guys, first of all, fucking cheated because you're like, baby didn't happen yet, so we're gonna go for our timed delivery.
That wasn't something
you get that shit induced. Yeah. No, that's not cheating. That's being.
But now,
smart.
what my wife said is that when they had to do that to her, it lasted way longer and it fucking sucked. And she was meaner to me that time. And
complete opposite for us.
And then the time she didn't, it went quick and she was not as mean, but still mean.
It has to that has nothing to do with being induced. That just happens to have that particular labor. It had nothing to do with her being induced. There's no difference.
You couldn't convince her otherwise.
But maybe with Jordan's testimony.
She's not gonna listen to Jordan.
No, don't. I'd recommend against it.
No, my wife knows that it's different for everybody, but our experience was different. Anyway, were you there all night? Did you get yelled at?
What? Give us the skinny.
It was easy. Like so.
Nothing great.
Well, yeah, it's easy for you. You just show up.
Did you eat Doritos?
It was harder on
out of the vending machine.
No, because every single vending machine in that fucking hospital didn't work.
Really?
Yeah. So I had to go to the cafe every time. It is. It's stupid.
That's annoying. Don't they know you're waiting on a baby and you need some snacks? You can't just wait on a baby. It's like you eat popcorn when you watch a movie. When you're waiting for a baby, you eat snacks. That's just how it goes. They force
you to go down to the cafeteria where you see all the goodies, and then you end up buying more.
That was the plan. They're like, they're gonna see our frozen vegetable entree, and they're gonna think, you know what? I could go for some real food while I'm here.
No, it's either really $1.25 for Doritos in broken vending machine that you may not even get, or 2 slices of pizza for like $5.95 in the cafeteria.
Yeah, but I want the Doritos, Jordan. I don't want the 2 slices.
Then you start bringing your own.
You know what? Fuck you guys. No, the Doritos were amazing, and I appreciated them. No, the reason that's like that, man, is they're hurting the new soon-to-be dad downstairs to stress eat instead of just getting a quick snack.
That's exactly what it is. It's all part of the plan.
Absolutely.
Anyway,
hospitals are for profit now. They're no longer there to heal us. They're there to become fat cats off our fat asses as we eat their pizza for $5.95 a pop. Fuck them.
That's it. You know what? Don't use hospitals, ladies and gentlemen.
Burn them down.
Burn the fucking hospital.
You use some. Get some survival guides. They have plenty of self-medicine stuff in there. It's perfect.
Was the pizza good enough that you would ever be like, I'm going to go out for lunch and actually go to the hospital for lunch?
No, not that good. I mean, it's good enough that I went the second day that we were there and got some more, but...
Was it worth $3 a slice?
Yeah.
No. I mean, I paid it because I had no choice, but...
Yeah.
You did. Well, at least you would have if those fucking vending machines worked.
Exactly. And I tried multiple, at least 5, so...
Did you go to the other side of the hospital?
Yeah, different floors and everything.
See, what you really need to do is you need to scope out a guy that looks like... Yeah, I was going to say, a guy that looks like he's been working all day and just like slowly follow him around. You're going to hit a vending machine eventually.
One that works.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll be a situation where he looks to his left, look to his right. You hide behind one of the office plants, and then he keys in a quick little... something on like a random window or in a chair. Wall slides open. He steps in. Perfect vending machine there with every flavor of Doritos, 75 cents a pop.
It's only Doritos.
It's only Doritos and
not that concern.
and Mountain Dew.
Oh, can I get this vending machine?
If you follow the right doctor around and you don't get caught. Yeah. Maybe steal a lab coat so they think you're one of them. So like, oh, come on, I already punched the code in. You know, they'll hold the door for you.
That's pretty foolproof. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean,
steal a doctor's coat
we've ever had. So, steal a doctor's coat today.
Did I ever tell you guys about the kid in Florida who worked at a hospital for like 3 months, showing up every day, and they finally found out he didn't work there and he doesn't have any kind of medical background at all?
Yes. Yes. We did talk about it in a previous show.
We did talk about it in a previous show.
Early stages though.
But
yeah, because it's so.
That is one of the most interesting things ever, though. Like, I want to try it. I want to try.
I mean, you have to find the good vending machine. Maybe that's what he was doing the whole time. As he was undercover for the best vending machine.
So, good guy vending machine investigator.
Yeah. He got caught, and his only option was, I'm pretending to be a doctor.
Yeah. Because if he admits the vending machine thing, they're like, oh, you're scheduled for surgery. How weird. A lobotomy? Man, in this day and age, let's get that done.
Yep.
Never would have heard a thing from him. Just saying.
Truth.
Keeps those lips tight because loose lips sink ships. Or in this case, get you lobotomized. Wake up, America.
Is that a word?
Wake up, sheeple. Lobotomized? Yeah, that's a word.
I've never heard it. I like it.
That's the
drill the brain thing or the scramble your eggs thing.
But I just never.
Yeah, lobotomized is when you've been lobotomied.
It's post lobotomy.
Yeah,
okay. I like it. Good job. I learned something today.
Thank you.
Much like this show.
That's really why everyone should listen to this show. We teach you things.
It's educational.
This is an educational podcast. So any of you teachers out there who want to play us for your, impressionable age children,
please,
by all means, we'll teach them things. It might not be
especially
the
second, third grade.
Well, yeah, first, second, third grade, we'll teach them true fucking life shit, like how to say a whole sentence with only fuck, shit, and like ball sack or something like that.
There's that.
Yeah.
Hey, little Jimmy, little second grade Jimmy, what's your favorite episode of the PB&J podcast? I like the one where they talk about ball sacks for a long time. That's my favorite.
I think that's actually a show. I think we did that.
Also, I like the one where they talked about World War II Nazis. That was cool. Thanks, Jimmy.
Thanks, Jimmy.
That was like 2 shows ago.
You did listen.
You did listen.
Oh, man. Good plug, Bryce. Listen back to previous shows.
And you'll learn all about some crazy shit that happened, some chicanery and shenanigans that happened during World War II.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
We don't support Nazis.
We don't. This is a no-Nazi podcast. Yeah, this is no-nonsense, no-Nazi podcast.
I was about to say that. This is a no-nonsense, no-Nazi podcast. I think that we are lobotomizing people horribly right now because we're all over the fucking place.
Yes.
They know what they're getting into. They push the button. It's 63. You pretending that you don't know what the deal is by now. I'm watching you. I'm watching you, audience.
You know the deal.
There's at least 5 of you. There's more than 5, but you're still our 5, everybody. And
everybody is 5.
Everybody is 5.
Hold on, wait.
All 5 of you in this room.
Wait. Let's back up a little bit. I've been questioned about this before because people that go back and listen to our earlier episodes, they'll always
like, "Who's the 5?
Who's the 5? Yes.
Who's the Fab 5?"
And I'm like, well, first of all, we don't know. We don't even know if it was the same 5 people. Also,
yeah, it was just 5 people consistently. Like 5 downloads, 5 downloads.
Yes, it was. I don't know. It was probably all my wife downloading on 5 things.
Yeah, she's like,
I'm gonna save you. Don't worry, honey.
You're gonna be big one day.
Yeah. Already big in Japan. So anyway, so we started saying the 5, referencing that, but now we just call you all the 5. Because that's like
you are collectively the 5.
Yes. So anyway, if you get this far, you are part of the 5. If you're just listening now, you're part of the 5. If you never
welcome to the 5.
Yeah, you're in. That's it. I think we just
that's fact.
You didn't. You know what? You didn't read the terms and agreement. The moment you push download or play, you became part of the 5, and it's irreversible. So, I mean, read the terms and conditions.
If you don't like it, we're gonna turn you into a human centipede. So there's that too.
I mean, I'm not going to say we won't.
South Park, anybody? No?
No, I got you.
Terms and conditions. Anyway.
Yeah, I got you.
Let's take a quick break. I know it's a little bit early, but
I'm exhausted, so I'm all over the place. So I'll take a quick break, splash some water on my face, and inject the cocaines.
Probably. We need to, do a thing with trajectory. We'll be back.
BRB.
Trajectory?
You fucking heard me.
All right, BRB.
Okay.
Recording stopped?
Yeah, mine too. I should probably save that now in case I accidentally delete it like that one time.
Oh, please.
Don't do that.
Control C. Oh no.
Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. So I've got my thing set up for the first social experiment I want to talk about.
Sweet.
What do you guys got?
I had a thing. I don't remember. Anyway, I just talked about that today actually with somebody about how sometimes I have a thing and then it's just gone. So
like Austin
welcome
Powers.
To break, by the way.
Hello, everyone watching us on break. All my friend is here.
All my friend is here.
I'm pretty sure that's just me. Hold on. Come on, viewer list. You can load.
You can load. Bryce, don't hurt your internet.
I don't know what's going on.
Hey, that really pissed me off the other day, actually, because we almost had a show go out.
Yeah, we almost had a show, and then Spectrum was just like, "I'm Spectrum, and I don't support your podcast."
I feel like they don't.
You're watching a porn, or whatever
you
do with the other 5% of your time.
What?
That's where they draw the line.
Yeah, well, we're either watching porn, talking about porn, or talking about porn on this show. I mean, you know.
That's our 3 to 4 states of being, so.
Hi, Michael.
Michael!
I don't know when that was posted, but hi.
Oh, that's right. I don't have the YouTube up. I only have the Twitch.
I have it up.
I apologize, Michael.
I haven't clicked on it until just now.
If you're still listening, we're here, and get used to it. And that's it.
I wrote it tubes. This way it tries to load the fucking chat for me.
It's a good plan.
Yeah, well, no, on my side, for some reason, unless I close and open it or post a random comment, it won't show me existing chat.
That's weird.
Yeah.
All right, then. I need you guys to get a thing. Go. Google. Look, everybody, it's my cat. Be distracted while they Google away. I am stalling for you. Like Stalin stalled the Allies. That's more Nazi knowledge for your brain. We're an educational podcast.
Oh, Jesus.
You got to dab on them after that.
Oh, yeah? I'll dab with you.
It's just facts. Yeah, you're going to dab with me? Oh, that's what I like to see.
Yeah. Now it's on camera that I've officially dabbed.
That was some dad dabbing, but I give full credit.
Yeah, well, I can only dab because I'm a dad.
That makes sense.
Hey, look at this piece of chicken.
That looks kind of good.
It is good.
Yeah. I finally got my lawn cut again. Because there was a period of time where it looked kind of like how it used to.
Did it? Your roommate, hold on. Your roommate was okay with that?
Hell no. That's why it got done as quickly as it did.
That's funny.
She was just
Did you tell her about the time you tried to scythe it?
I showed her the video of me trying to do it and it failing and me being disappointed.
I love that video so much.
Yeah, it was such a good video.
You're like, I just gotta do it different.
Gotta sharpen it and like do it differently. And I was like, I'm doing the technique. I saw, like, I did a lot of research on it beforehand because I was really gung ho and excited about it. And then it just ends up it was a piece of shit scythe. And now it's no longer available on Amazon because they had so many returns and negative reviews. Amazon kicked it off.
That's
crazy. It broke for everybody. It didn't work for anyone. Like, they literally sent a square bolt for a circle hole. Like, I don't know.
They did, which was my favorite part.
That's amazing.
It's so dumb.
That was my favorite part. I was like, oh, this must be this way on purpose.
I still have that scythe hidden in my garage. So at any point, someone breaks into my house and I break out into the garage, I'm going to grab it. And they don't know that it's a piece of shit. They just see that I'm a Grim Reaper motherfucker.
I'm sure that even being a piece of shit, I wouldn't want to get hit with it.
Oh, yeah. It would probably still hurt. It'll stab if I get them with the tip, you know? Like if I just shink. But the problem is the handles are broke, so I have to, like, hold it on the shaft and, like, you know? I don't know.
That's what
we'll figure it out.
That's also what she said. You're right.
She's saying a lot of shit. She needs to stop talking. She gonna get bopped.
I wonder what.
I'm so tired. I don't know what I'm saying anymore.
Me too.
You're fine.
I don't know why I'm exhausted. This happened literally. Me and my roommate. She's like, "Do you want to go to Walmart?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure. Why not?" So I grabbed a quick shower because I was playing Beat Saber, so like I was sweating up. And then we step outside to go to Walmart, and the heat hits me, and instantly all my energy is drained. I'm like, oh my god! All of a sudden, I'm exhausted.
I gotta take a shower again.
Yeah, I was just like, oh my god. So we get in the car, we go to Walmart, and I start getting loopy, even though I'm in the AC, and I'm just like, oh no, I'm tired. Then I come home after everything, and I'm being weird, and I messaged you guys at that point because I was like, hey, are we doing the show tonight? Because it's 4th of July, and I had seen that you guys said we were, but I was just like, let me make sure nothing changed, so that way I can properly plan and hype myself up for the show instead of fall asleep.
Hyphy.
Yeah, and then you guys were like, yeah, we're doing it. I'm like, all right, cool. And I came in here and I got hyphy, but I'm fucking like derpy as shit right now.
Derp.
I can see it in your eyes.
Derp.
I like it though.
You can see it in my smile.
Wait, did you derpy yourself?
I want to tell you
or
so
is
much.
it natural? Are you natural?
I love you. I'm natural derp.
Natural derpy.
This is no chemistry derp. My brain chemistry's intact. All natural. Oh, I'm excited to announce that I got my license fixed.
Thank you.
Good job.
We did that Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah, so I can drive wherever I want now, and if the cops pull me over, I could be like, I don't give a fuck. I didn't do shit.
I don't give a fuck. Oh.
Whereas before, no matter what they pulled me over for, they could be like broken taillight. The moment they say license registration, they see that it's suspended. They're just like, you're going to jail, or you got to get a tow truck for your car and like wait on the side of the road for 3 hours. Because that happened once. That was pretty sad.
That sucks.
It was not a good time. It was right out of Pine Hills too, so it was really sketch.
Ouch.
Yeah.
I got pulled over once, and it wasn't even that long ago. It was maybe a year ago. And my car was... No, not even a year ago. When was it? Fucking March. Yeah, it was in March. I got pulled over, and my car was not registered at all.
Oh.
And I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So,
What?
Yeah, so I got pulled over, and he's
just
like,
start fisting you.
Yeah, and he was like, he did the whole, I could take you to jail, but
I could, but I won't.
But you have to go to court.
Yeah, it's one of those power play things.
Yeah.
Or you're supposed to be appreciative, but on the inside you're still like, fuck you. You don't have to do any of this.
Yeah, exactly.
Just because you could do that, you could also let me go with a warning. Like.
But yeah, he gave me a summons for court, no ticket or anything.
That's
I had
cool.
to get it taken care of. He didn't take my car or my license or nothing like that.
That
I was
is
able
cool
to continue just drive,
Yeah.
He said if I get pulled over again at any point today, just show them that thing and I'd
be yeah. So, and then they'll know.
Yeah. And he was like, get it taken care of.
You're such a lawbreaker, dude.
And
what's cool about the summons, while it's a pain in the ass, it literally is no cost if you show in the court. I got it taken care of immediately after. It was one of those
mine
things.
Was the same day. It was like 3.5 hours later that I got it taken care of, and the judge was like, "All right, well, you're free to go."
Yeah, you did a good job. You got it done right away. No fine, go bye. Yeah, but if you wait like a week after, sometimes the judge will be like, "You waited a long time to get that done after we hooked you up," and I imagine you were still driving during that time frame. We just didn't catch you. I'm sorry. You're gonna have to pay $200 or do this or do that or whatever. But if you get it done like within 24 hours of the summon thing, you getting the paper that says, "Hey, if I get pulled over, they already got me, please." Then the judge is 99% it's just gonna be super cool. If you can manage it though, the best time to go to court is right after lunch. Because that's when the judge is in the best mood.
I'm ready. I have a thing. Just real quick.
I saw your smile, so I'm excited about your thing.
Well, I just have a new theory. It's a new theory into kind of a list and some things to talk about. It's gonna be good though. I don't want to talk about it yet.
Yeah, don't talk about it. Don't ruin
Jordan
the
needs to locate a thing, and then I have to do something.
Okay, go do something. Always whacking it, motherfucker.
All right.
Your mic's still on. We can hear you whacking.
Find a thing.
Real quick, by the way, all you guys who are watching either on Twitch or eventually or later watching on YouTube, don't tell anybody that, you know, we look stuff up in the middle. God.
Yeah, don't ruin the allure. This is magic. We're just trying to chill. Don't worry about it. It's part of the 5 secret pact. That was also in the terms and conditions. You really should have read the terms and conditions. I'm sorry. It's just the way it is. Look at my cat be adorable. She's all clean in her tummy. She's about that life. What's she doing, Looney? What's she doing? Come here, you little shit. Don't just look at me. Oh, she's being a difficult. Am I gonna have to roll over there so I can pet you?
Yes.
Making my life so hard. I'm not rolling over to you. You're too far.
Oh.
Fucking semi-ass, medieval times ass, hour away ass, motherfucker.
All that.
In a bag of chips. I'll probably be going to Kissimmee here in the near future because I've been invited out to the Fox and Hound. It's a local pub pretty close to where you live. It's like an English style pub, and I've got a group of friends who've been wanting me to go out there forever. And now that I don't have to be afraid to drive with a cop behind me, I'll probably go out there and be like, "Hey, well, let's get our drink on." So if I'm out there, I'll message you and let you know. So if you are able to or want to come out, you can. Otherwise, you don't have to. There's literally no pressure about it. I'm just letting you know that I'll let you know.
I appreciate that.
What's up?
Baby. That's it. Boom, 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 boom. Do 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 do. So try my slam on Versailles drive stick with that kung fu grip and let the banana slip. Watch it go right through your thighs.
What the fuck?
It's a Bloodhound Gang song that I was referencing that entire time. It was a real thing. Whoa. All right, we need to get this show back on the road. I'm gonna go fucking nuts.
Yeah, I can't find anything.
Did you?
What the fuck,
Really?
Jordan?
Yeah.
You suck.
Jordan, while we're doing our things, you're gonna find a thing, and you're gonna talk about it, and it's gonna be great.
It is.
This is me putting my belief and faith.
Well, you know what?
Oh, actually, you know what? I did have something that was a little crazy that I read a little while back.
Hey, see, I just had to put the faith in you, and then you got it.
He read a thing. That was the surprising part, right?
Yes.
I don't know how to read.
Me neither. Wait a
all
minute.
all those fucking moon runes go on my screen, and I'm just gonna make up a story. None of this is real.
None of this is real.
The illusion's broken. Oh, he doesn't even know how to read. What does he mean? He read an article on Cracked.
On the 4th of July, Americans celebrate life, liberty, and the pursuit of hot dogs.
All right, I can see that. Hot dogs are a pretty big staple. My personal favorite thing that I say when it comes to the 4th of July is the 4th of July is the celebration of the greatest breakup letter ever. It's not you, it's US.
Yeah.
America. You know?
You got to write Merca.
Yeah, it's America. I'm pretty proud of it. I'm ready. You ready, Jordan? You found your thingy?
Yeah, I found it.
I'm going to finger bang you guys. So
we didn't talk about it before.
You guys are going to grow up.
You probably did. Nobody will know.
This finger
That's fine.
going in your butt.
Hold
All right,
on.
we ready? I'm recording. There's no holding on anymore. You better start recording.
I am recording.
All right, everyone recording?
Yep. Yeah, no, yes.
Finger 1, finger 2. I'm going to finger you.
3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's me. Welcome back.
Yes, it's you. Come on.
No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, welcome back. We had a fun and eventful break. If you were here for the video, you know
I pet my cat.
He did pet his cat.
It's on video. We got it.
Jordan did a thing. It was fun. You should see. You should go watch the video.
Yeah, it's totally worth your time.
Totally.
We're not plugging it for the view or anything.
Videos, please. No, I'm just kidding, mostly. So, but seriously, welcome back. You know, one thing that I realized that because sometimes we get it ahead of ourselves, right? When we get going on a show, we're always like really hyped. We're like, oh man, okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna talk about this, and we're really bad at that. So
yeah, we are.
One thing I don't even think we did was to be like, hey, happy 4th of July.
We didn't say happy 4th of July.
I don't think we did.
No, actually, we didn't. Happy 4th of July, guys.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the PBnJ podcast. And happy 4th of July to all of our
first part out. So
yeah, that didn't happen. What first part? I don't know what Patrick's talking about, but it's the 4th of July, and we're starting the episode off right by saying happy 4th of July. If you hear explosions in the background, it is not gunshots. We do not live in the ghetto. It is in fact fireworks, and our neighbors are being patriotic as fuck.
Yeah, I was gonna say
America.
Except for the story I told earlier about half my neighborhood being shut down because of a bomb threat.
That didn't happen. That didn't happen.
That's right.
You gotta say it again. Oh, fuck it.
Anyway.
Everything's over. We're moving on.
Yeah.
What bomb threat? Everything's fine.
Not to break the immersion. I am sorry.
Immersions. I'm sorry, everybody.
Immersica. No, but we had a lot of people blowing shit up around us. But I was like, man, that's crazy. We didn't even say that at all.
Happy 4th of July.
So. The other thing is it's, you know, just like usual after the breaks, it's fucking weird shit time, you know. That's what I'm dubbing.
That's how this goes.
Yeah.
We don't have segments. We have before weird shit time, break, and then weird shit time.
Yeah. So
that's your segments, guys.
Fuck you. I don't know.
And let's be real, it's all weird shit to begin with, so fuck it.
It is. That's true. It's
we suplex trains. Like the train's just going along the rail, minding its own business. We pick that shit up and we suplex it.
Yeah, there was no rail to begin with to stay on.
Exactly.
But anyway, I don't know if Bryce wants to talk about some shit because I know he has some kind of out there something or other to talk about.
Yes.
Or you know, we could go with my. I have a new theory. That I'm working on.
You want to flip a coin and find out? I mean, we totally planned this in advance.
Yeah. Flip a coin.
I'm
and it's okay. I'll just go first.
You go first.
Yeah, I was just kidding anyway. I was kind of thinking you'd be like.
I was kidding too. We had it planned.
Totally planned. Duh. So hold on. New theory. You know, something we talk about a lot. In fact, one of the games we like.
Sex bots. Alien sex bots.
We've talked about all those, but something else. We've talked about poop joggers. Something else. Florida stuff. Florida.
Okay, we're getting warmer.
Good job. No. Anyway, my theory is that Florida now has such a bad name for itself that it's going to start to flood the internet with propaganda, purposely showing other crazy stuff or bizarre things that happen in other places. States? Yes. So
interesting.
I came across the Tampa Bay Times.
Yeah.
Right? You know, because I'm a newspaperman. I'm not. 100%.
You're not, but sometimes you just got to hit the random newspapers. Because Florida newspapers are the best because that's where you get those crazy Florida man headlines usually. Like I have to dig through papers so I can find the stuff for Florida or not. Like I hit up all the newspapers that are local because that's where all the crazy shit happens. It's not national news. You hear about the guy who had an alligator in the drive-thru. Like that's not where you find that out in the Tampa Bay Times, the Sanford Gazette. Like that's how it goes.
On the front of this, on the front page, the one that they have marked "bizarre news" is what it's called. Okay?
They have a bizarre news section. I need to scope that out.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like probably 15 stories or so on that front page right there, and you can click them to open the story up,
see the article and everything. Yeah.
None of them, except for one, which I feel is a promotion for their city, is from Florida. Right, the one on this that's from Florida, Michael Jackson's elephant escapes the enclosure at the Florida Zoo in Jacksonville. Right.
Okay. So they're trying to be like, yeah, the only weird shit that happens out here is like, elephants escaping the zoo. You can find random elephants in Florida. Come on down. It's Michael like a safari.
Michael fucking Jackson's elephant. So
you can tell because it always has one glove on.
Oh, you
well
win.
done, sir.
You win.
Well done. Yeah. Thank you.
Congratulations.
One glove elephant. That's the name of the show now.
The one glove elephant.
I like it.
And you know what? We get an elephant, put a fucking glove on it.
That's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
We're not gonna Photoshop that. I'm gonna find an elephant and put a glove on it. It's gonna
we're gonna take a picture of it.
There's a zoo in Sanford. I can drive over there with my legal license and just jump the wall.
They have elephants. Do they have elephants? They used to have elephants.
I think they do. They have a sloth though. I want to go just for the sloth.
We can't go at night though, bro. We can go and we can go.
We're not gonna go at night.
And go do a around the zoo show.
Yeah, around the zoo. You know what? That'd be kind of fun. We have a zoo day.
I'm alright with that.
Yeah, but we can like interview random people at the zoo. Like, hey, what are you here for?
So this page does have some juicy stuff on it though, which is kind of the other side of this. But what do you think about my conspiracy theory? Like I said, it's a work in progress.
Right. This is a hypothesis. We need to test it over a few weeks.
But
we'll keep an eye on it, and if it seems like there's more articles coming out from other places in the bizarre news section,
yeah, that's what I think. I think this is done on
then I would have to agree that it's propaganda because they're trying to save some face. Because you know what? The Coalition for Florida, they don't want us to be known for Florida Man.
No, God, no.
They don't want us to be known for being the public masturbation capital of the world. They don't want us to be known for that shit, but that's what we're known for. Like, it used to be oranges, but we don't have the orange groves anymore. That shit's in China.
Yeah.
So, like,
we did it to ourselves.
We did it to ourselves.
Hold on. At what point are we going to take the orange off of, or did we already do that? Is there no orange on license plates anymore?
No, there is.
Okay.
It's in the center.
What time are we going to remove the orange and just put a dude there? Like a little
just a dude jacking it?
Yeah, stick figure jacking his dick.
Do it now. All we need is
and then he has like a trout over his head for the one Florida Man headline. Man beats quadriplegic
with trout.
Fish. Yeah, like we can just have that, and then it'll be the jacking Florida Man as our mascot.
Yeah, that's gonna happen. You watch.
You know what? Probably.
So anyway, there's some good stories on here. A 92-year-old woman killed her son when she suspected he was going to put her in a retirement home.
Wow. You know what? At that point, it's get retired or retire. So she retired him from life.
Yeah, but I mean, she was probably living with him. So now she didn't think it through because she's going to a home anyway now, probably, right? Jail.
Or she's going to jail, yeah.
But they're going to give her life in prison, which is like 3 weeks.
Yeah, right. I don't know. Hold on.
That's one of the things that always makes me laugh when they
first-degree murder, kidnapping, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
Wait, kidnapping?
Yeah, can we?
She kidnapped him?
Do we want to go into the story?
A little bit.
A little bit.
You piqued my interest.
Let's see.
92-year-old is like the murder. I'm like, oh, she probably put arsenic in his tea or whatever. But no, now it's like aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, kidnapping, and first-degree murder. You've added a lot more elements than I thought this 92-year-old woman was capable of. It sounds now I'm imagining her being like Bonnie from Bonnie and Clyde, just like really old, and she has like the submachine gun and everything, and she's just like, "We're going," and there's 20 miles an hour.
She's 92, right? Her son, 72 years old.
Okay.
And his girlfriend, they got in an argument. During the confrontation, she shot the son multiple times. She then turned the gun on the girlfriend. The two struggled over the weapon. Girlfriend managed to get the gun out of the 92-year-old's hand. She retrieved another pistol from her pocket.
Oh my god.
She was double strapped.
Right? That's fucking crazy. And then the two fought again before the girlfriend knocked a pistol out of her hand. After she was disarmed, she waited in her recliner until the police came.
Jesus.
That's a real gangster.
Yeah, like there's no. She's like, if I drive, I'm driving 20 miles an hour down the street, so I'm not gonna get away. I might as well just sit in my recliner and be comfortable before they cuff me.
Okay, so that was a good story, right?
Yeah,
that was in Arizona.
Okay, interesting.
You know what? That totally would have been one of the ones I would have found and put into Florida or not as my red herring. Try and trick you guys into saying Florida.
Oh, dude, there's another.
Because that's totally like par for the course for some Florida man shit.
There's another one that I think is the same though, kind of like that.
Okay, let's hear it.
This is woman with machete hides behind ex-boyfriend's door and then forces sex on him.
That does sound like some Florida shit too,
doesn't it? Right?
That's in New Mexico.
This is
because I think that made the rounds on Facebook. I remember seeing that.
I didn't see that. That's crazy.
Great Falls, Montana.
Great Falls.
Wow.
Wichita Falls, where Wichita Falls.
Let's see. And then one other one that I really wanted to bring up. Drunk teen gets head stuck in exhaust pipe during country music festival.
I have so many questions. How big is this exhaust pipe, and or how small is this kid's head? Was it like a Zika baby that made it to like teenage years? Like, how is that possible?
Oh my god. I think so. I'm waiting for the page.
Like, how big is this exhaust?
Video.
That's the best.
Link me. I need to see this.
We're gonna post it on our LinkedIn.
Oh my goodness. It is in our
Hangouts?
Normal Hangouts, yeah.
Oh my god, that's insane.
All right, so 19-year-old girl from Litchfield, Minnesota, spent 45 minutes with her head wedged inside of a tailpipe and then became a viral video star. That fucking sucks.
45 minutes?
Yup.
How did she not
After
die?
she got some drinks, she decided to see if her head could squeeze in her exhaust pipe of a stranger's truck. So it's probably a big ass fucking.
It would have to be like a custom,
diesel
like
exhaust pipe. Yeah.
It is huge.
We're all having fun. I saw this big exhaust pipe. I was like, "Hey, my head could probably fit in it." So I tried it.
Shoved it in.
It did fit, but it didn't want to come back out. That's the quote.
Jesus Christ! So how do they end up getting it out? Do they have to cut the exhaust pipe, or did they like grease up her neck and then slowly slide her out? Like what?
A power saw.
Yeah, they used a reciprocating saw to cut her free. That's what the video is.
Of them cutting her free?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And then she posed with the cut tailpipe in front of the guy's truck with the guy's truck. Or with the guy, with the owner.
But here's my thing, is you got your head in there, so you could have got your head out.
Well, unless it was one of those situations where when you're sliding it in, your ears get pushed down, right?
Yeah.
But once you slide it up to a certain point where you're like slicked down, everything pops back to normal once you're past that ridge. And when you go back, the ridge like completely stops.
Her ear wasn't in the exhaust pipe.
I'm not in the picture. I'm going. The imagination is way more hilarious than whatever it's going to look like.
Basically, like the top of her head. I don't understand how she couldn't get herself out.
It was only the top of her head.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's pretty crazy.
The fuck she get caught on?
So anyway, I think these stories do prove pretty hardcore that there's some weird
at the very least,
other places.
At the very least, it is. At the very least, I'm very tired. Fuck you. At the very least, this proves that the Tampa Bay Times is spending an exorbitant amount of time researching weird shit that's happening in other states. Because
that's what I'm saying.
I usually have to look at the local newspapers to find Florida man shit because it's one of those situations where, one, I think the governor's pretty much talked to the major news stations like, we don't want to be famous for this shit. Can we stop? Like, just kind of chill out with those stories. You can get one in there every now and then, but try and do other news.
They made it a thing because it became.
It is a thing now.
Yeah,
we are in a thing.
That doesn't make sense.
And like, so I have to look at local newspapers to find this. That means they're looking at local newspapers elsewhere so they can report on these stories. I'm fully on board with your theory that they're starting to do propaganda to try and make it seem less like we're crazy.
Yeah, I'm telling you. And there's 142 stories, and I'm willing to bet there's probably a good amount of
there's a decent amount of
stories in here.
You can't talk about bizarre news and ignore Florida. That's too obvious.
Exactly.
And everyone's like, this is obviously propaganda.
Point, man. Yeah. It's designed. This is designed. Anyway, I thought it was awesome. If anybody has any opinion on my theory,
if you know of any other newspapers that have a bizarre news section that is specifically like other places and maybe every now and then a Florida story.
Yeah, definitely link that stuff to us. Share that stuff. If you see weird stories, obviously, please share them with us.
Yeah, I mean, we love weird stories to begin with.
And I just posted it on our Facebook if you guys want to check it out.
Cool.
Nice.
Good job.
It's also great fodder so I can set up for another Florida or not game in the future. So if you guys find some weird Florida stories or elsewhere stories, those are more fun, especially ones that seem like they should be in Florida. Let me know so I can throw them in there and really test these guys.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't.
Yeah, I love those. Win anyway. I love those games, man.
They're a lot of fun. But
so moving on to, I think you had something just kind of weird to talk about, right?
Yeah, you guys know how I obsess about shit, right?
Yes.
I get real weird with it.
Yes, you do.
So, I was playing Fallout New Vegas recently. And in Fallout New Vegas, there's a specific vault. Because in the Fallout universe, in these games, it takes place after the apocalypse. And a bunch of people went into these things called vaults, which were basically bomb shelters by one specific company. And this company took those vaults and used them as an opportunity to create experiments of different types. And they did all sorts of social experimentation and literal experiments where they experimented on humans or bugs or whatever. And like during the vault dwellers' time in those vaults, they were part of these experiments, whether they knew it or not. And there was a social experiment that was done that I was playing through the game, and I went through the vault and I was reading about this social experiment, and it reminded me so much of a billion other social experiments that I love. Just because I find them fascinating, just seeing how people tick.
Yeah.
This reminded me a lot of the Lord of the Flies. Like, you know the book The Lord of the Flies?
Yeah.
I think everyone's known that book because they had to read it in like middle school or some shit. But what's crazy is The Lord of the Flies, that actually happened in an experiment that someone did. It was unethical as fuck. But basically, there's this guy. He essentially decided to do an experiment with a bunch of 12-year-old boys. And it's known as the Robber's Cave experiment. The guy's name was Musafir Sharif, and him and his wife created a camp, right? And they tried to find as many boys that were like as equal as possible. They all came from the same backgrounds where the parents were still together, same income family, same, like basically as equal as possible down to like religion and everything. They wanted them all to be the exact same background so that way they can try and get as accurate an experiment as possible. They split the boys up into 2 groups of 12 without the boys knowing about the other groups. So one group of 12 went in on one bus. One group of 12
so they're this way they're totally separate for the experiment, right?
They're totally separate for the experiment, and basically, it was just a camp, and they were counselors on the camp. They didn't tell the parents what they were doing, and they took money from the parents to do this camp. And then they told the parents, "Yeah, just don't visit. We don't want the boys to get homesick." And it was the 50s, so the parents were like, "Yeah, that makes sense. We won't look at after our kid. We've met you today. Sure, take our kids for a week." Mm-hmm. So they showed up in the separate groups, and during the first week of camp, they were just observing because it was more than a week. It was like 2 or 3 weeks of like stuff. It was a summer camp. But during the first week, all they did was observe the boys and see what kind of culture each group developed on their own because they had their own like group identities that they had. So like one group was very big on like, you know, cursing and, you know, being like manly and, you know,
macho,
downplaying like pain and stuff and being super macho and like rough and tough and you know, like curse. So they all would like curse together and shit like that. Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course. Totally.
Oh yeah. No.
Bitch.
The other group.
I was totally like half zoned for a second and almost slipped and agree with you, motherfucker. Anyway, continue.
So the other group, they had a different situation where they would bathe together in the lake. They would swim naked. They would only swim naked, and they would swim naked together. It was like this whole like thing. And they also would do like hikes together. So they were very much like their own separate thing, and their culture was much more passive. But you know, it was the thing. They had the boys choose their own names for their groups. So one group was like, we're going to be the Eagles. And the other group was like, we're going to be the Rattlers.
Rattlers?
So, like rattlesnakes.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah. So they had created stenciled shirts and flags for their groups. Not knowing about the other group, they just thought they were doing it for their own like thing. So then Sharif arranged for a competition stage where he introduced the groups together. And so basically they had been playing like separate games of like baseball and stuff like that. They didn't know about each other. Then all of a sudden he was having them play against each other.
Okay.
In like baseball, tug of war, all kinds of stuff. And they created a system where there was a trophy being awarded on the basis of an accumulated team score. And there was also individual prizes for the winning group, such as like a medal or a pocket knife or, you know, something like that. And there's no prizes given to the losers. Right. So now,
that's how it should be.
That's how it should be.
The Rattlers, who were the boys who were all like, you know, macho, rough and tough. They were all like, oh, we're going to be doing contests. Well, we're going to fucking win for sure. We're going to be awesome. And they started like staking territory. So they went to the ball field and they created a do not like keep off our field sign. So that way the other team couldn't fucking like practice on the ball field. And they put their Rattler flag on the pitch. This is all their ideas, all what they were doing. The counselors didn't give them any ideas. They didn't say anything to them. This is all purely what the boys were doing. So they put their flag in the middle of the mound of the ball field, created keep out signs, and took it over as their territory. And then at that point, they were making like threatening remarks. And they're like, if the Eagles came and fucked with our flag, we're going to take these baseball bats and beat the shit out of them. Like, they're going to come at us, come in our territory, touch our fucking flag. We'll fucking down them. Like, it was like fucking real shit, like gang shit. They also created situations where one group gamed at the expense of the other. So they would create like artificial delays in getting to a picnic. Like one group would like slow down the other group for this picnic. Like the counselor would make them take a different route or whatever. And then the other group would eat all the food because they got there first. And then the group showed up, was like, oh, the food's gone, so we can't eat now. And they were creating like this prejudice. And it was one of those things where at first the prejudice was only verbally expressed between the boys. So they were like taunting each other, name calling. But as the competitions wore on, it took a more direct route. The Eagles burned the Rattlers flag that was on the mound. They lit it on fire. The next day, the Rattlers ransacked the Eagles cabin because there was also a competition for like cleanest cabin and shit. They busted into the cabin, overturned beds, and stole a bunch of their shit. And it got so aggressive that the researchers had to separate them because the Rattlers or the Eagles, in response to the Rattlers coming into their cabin, they actually took baseball bats to the other group's cabin, broke fucking everything, like mafia. What? You didn't pay your protection money style. Like,
now hold on, I have a couple of questions. Yeah. How long were they there? Like how
this was over? So the first week was just observation. The next 4 to 6 days was all it took for it to get to this level where they were actually going to go to war and beat the shit out of each other with weapons. Essentially, at this less than 2 weeks, they were already like
how old were they?
12-year-old boys.
12-year-old boys.
Yeah.
And so
what the hell they learned this shit in the 50s?
Are crazy.
Yeah. No, we're all fucking nuts.
We're all fucking pieces of shit.
The moment you take civilization out of things and you make it a competition between one tribe and another, all of a sudden we become like we revert. And that's basically what the show is.
Okay, but what I don't understand is that's how things are all the time. is like everything's a competition all the time. So you mean to tell me that there was no external influence on them, like to push them in one way or the other, to make them hate each other in one
no,
way
it was
or the
just
other?
the competitions. That's the only thing that it was, is they created competition with a limited source of resources, right? And that's just the first part. But they had to move to the third part pretty quickly after introducing the second part of the competition, because they did not expect how much animosity they would have towards each other in such a quick period of time. And so they were trying to get these boys to get along. So they would do like joint movie sessions and stuff like that. But the in groups of these two, they would still separate themselves. They wouldn't sit with each other. They would immediately separate themselves into their own tribes and watch movies in separate stars. They started making them eat together. They would go full-blown food fights that would turn into fist fights. So they separated the boys for 2 days as a cooling off period, because they're like, holy shit, these guys are trying to kill each other now. Because like, the Rattlers were starting to talk about the knives that they stole and how they were going to stab some eagles. So they're like, okay, we're not going to have this go down. Like, this is turning into some murder shit, right? Yeah. So then what they decided to do is they wanted to see if they can cause these two groups of boys who, when they interviewed them during the cool off period, they're like, how, because there was a bean competition as well, where you had to collect beans and then you had to guess how many beans each person had. Each group would consistently, other members of their group, they would consistently rate them higher on bean count than any other member of the other group. Like, instantly, they're like, everyone in my group is more confident than their group, even if there's no basis for it at all. They would, both sides, it was the exact same thing. So then they decided, all right, integration isn't working to where we just have them passively sit together. They're not realizing, hey, we're all boys, we're all just here having camp, let's have fun, we can be friends kind of deal. They see each other as enemies and stuff. So what they did was they started creating shortages of certain resources. They completely cut the water supply and had both groups work together in order to find the water supply to return it to the camp so they can drink water and like bathe and stuff. So when they worked together on things, there was that, and then there was another thing where a car broke down. They forced it to break down to create this illusion, and that had like their foodstuffs and like things like that, where they forced the groups to work together towards a goal that benefited everyone in the community, not just one team or the other. Once they started doing that, they started forming friends together, and they became one cohesive tribe. And it basically showed that if you gave them a common goal to work towards, even if they're rival factions to the point of wanting to kill each other, they will work together, and suddenly the differences are no longer there. Well, we're all just people trying to drink water.
Okay, but I don't have to go to stupid ass summer fucking camp to know that. I've learned that from 3 days of playing any video game. That's
the thing. This was the 50s, so video games weren't a thing then.
So wait, yeah, but that's not the point.
This is the first recorded. This is the first recorded like social experiment to prove how tribal we are and how we can get around that.
I don't know. I think it's.
And what's fascinating is this was the third attempt at this experiment. The first two got scrubbed because in one of them, both groups of boys, the counselors created their own group to where they were a faction essentially, and because they were the more powerful faction because they had authority, both groups of boys turned on them to the effect of tying them up and like pointing weapons at them and being like, "No, fuck you. This is our camp now."
Interesting. So two things. One, honestly, I kind of zoned out, so I forgot it was the 50s, but I still don't think it matters. I think that our thing is video games, sure, but don't you just kind of learn that automatically through like?
Well, it's one of those situations where
like I need something.
You can have an idea of how it works, right?
We need this. Like,
but it's another group did a similar study, but they introduced religion as a factor to where they had two religions that were against each other. It was specifically Muslims and Christians. And they wanted to see if the religious backgrounds would overtake the prejudice and make it to where even if, and they interspersed the groups. So like each group had an equal amount of Christians and Muslims. It was still purely based off the flag and or the color that was associated with them.
Yeah.
They were more likely to like someone of a completely different religion that would normally be an enemy of you on the faith level. They would ignore that and still rate them higher just because they're on the same team. And it becomes a situation where,
yeah, I personally think that unless it's a direct family unit, like brother, sister, mother, something like that, dad, that religion, I don't think is a strong enough connection. Like, if you want your team to win, you know what I mean? Yeah. Even a friend that's been a friend for a super long time, I still think if it's for their benefit and it needs to happen, they're,
right. And it's one of those things where it was essentially just to prove how quickly we will devolve. In the circumstances of like a limited resource. So like if the world actually ended, how quickly we would all become raiders and just like become tribal and kill other people with no remorse because we needed that resource. And you know what? Fuck them. They were team blue anyway. We're team red. Go red. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was more towards that, but they wanted to see if it was possible to have a peaceful resolution to that kind of thing. And it was purely through giving a common goal and making the unit cohesive through working together, that they understood the value in each other and started seeing each other as people as opposed to enemies.
Because of this, when the world ends, and because of the PBnJ podcast, I'd like to fucking point that out, right?
Yeah, we're giving you the best
in case the fucking world ends. You now know you and the other rival family factions. If
need
you
to find a broken car and like fix it together,
you need to get a common goal, and then when they're not looking, kill them and steal their resources.
Yeah, because they're still team blue, the fuckers.
Motherfuckers.
Team red for life.
No, but seriously, that's pretty cool. I mean, I like social experiments.
I love the fact that it turned so quickly into we're gonna kill the other kids. Like, because these were boys that were
fucking extreme, though. That's what I'm saying. These are 12-year-old kids. They immediately go to, I'm going to kill them.
It's because there was no de-escalation. There was no adults telling them, no, chill out. Because the counselors were letting them do whatever.
So do you think if we just let our children...
like when I was a kid and I didn't like somebody off school grounds, I wasn't immediately like...
You also have to remember that this is the 50s. And in every Stephen King book that takes place in the 50s or that time period, there's always the bully that pulls a pocket knife and carves his name into some kid's stomach and shit. Like, that was just... It was a more hyper-aggressive situation. And granted, the study is
stabby back then, I think.
They were a lot more stabby, but it's a completely biased
old people are fucking
experiment as well, because it was only white middle class boys and there were no girls in the mix. There was no nothing. So it's kind of like a flawed experiment in that regard because the sample size isn't proper, and it's a completely unethical experiment because everything they did was without the boys' consent, without the parents' consent, and.
But that's how the experiment has to happen to.
Well, yeah, that's how that experiment had to happen.
For accurate results,
it could never happen now, because now you would need to get. But I mean, they could get consent from the parents now without the kids knowing. But trying to get parents to consent to, hey, we want to see if we can turn your kid into a bunch of savages and try and kill each other. Just see if it would happen. Don't worry, we'll stop it before they murder.
I don't know how much faith I would have in that.
I know. I'd be like, as much as I prize myself on my parenting, I don't want to put it out on the line like that, because if my kid does turn savage, it's going to look bad on me. So, no.
So
it's going to be a no from me, dog.
Does this also fucking mean that if we just took all of our kids and we're like, let's say the rule was you raise your kid until they're 5 or 6, right? Okay. And then your kid goes into like the kid corral, and it's just like a kid society, right?
Little town. Okay.
Lord of the Flies.
Do you think that they would like be killing each other crazy, or do you think that they would create a structure like we have now?
I think it would depend. I think that they would create some sort of structure, but
they'd still be
kids have way worse impulse control than adults. And the reason why we stop them from being so stabby is because we're telling them no, and that's wrong. Because they have real moral gray areas when they're kids. Like, kids don't understand like stealing. You try and tell them about sharing, they're like, no, fuck you, this is mine. I'm not gonna share it.
Yeah.
Like, you give them limited resources and tell them to live in a society, and one kid decides he wants all the cupcakes, everyone's going to kill that kid, or that kid's going to kill everyone else. That's
then
very flawed, very unstable.
One day you go to pick your kid up on their, like, let's say I don't know.
If they made it to their 13th birthday.
13th birthday, yeah, or some shit like that. Yeah. You get to go pick your kid up, and you're there, and you're waiting, and you're waiting, and you're waiting, and you're waiting, and they're like, yeah. And you're like, oh my God, is he dead?
The cupcake incident of 06.
No, so he killed everybody over the cupcakes.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's in Littleton jail now, but because he's 13, we're going to put him in your care. But just know, he's grown now.
Yeah, right. Well,
he's killed some kids. He's aged.
Would that create fucking psychopaths though? Like fucking loony ass adults?
Well, that's the thing is,
absolutely,
integrating them into our society would be very difficult because they've created a rule of law where their might got them where they needed to be. Because if there's no intervention from us, unless they created some sort of system where all the kids would beat the shit out of the kid who was being a dick.
We need to make a little kid society and just see how it goes.
I was just thinking when you were telling that story, like those kids all eventually grew up. I wonder if they ever thought back to that and were like,
damn, we were Lord of the Flies for real. Yeah. No, they were probably in their mind, they're like, boys will be boys. Because like that was the mindset back then, was just like shit like that happened all the time. Yeah. Where you just kind of got rough and tumble, it was whatever. And those are the best. That was the best summer camp I ever had. You know.
Yeah, that was the best camp I ever had. We burned each other's fucking flags, and
we did raids, and we broke their cabin. It was all in good fun, but it was escalating. But they'll forget about the part where they lost their civilization and their humanity.
Yeah, they won't remember the escalation. You know, hold on. That's exactly like somebody being like, oh, I want to move back to such and such, or I want to, you know, go back to doing this or something like that, right?
Yeah, if I could go back in time.
Yeah, you never remember
the shit.
The shit, why you laughed. And
exactly.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, that's super interesting. I don't want to beat the dead horse.
And that's part one of I obsess, and I didn't obsess over one experiment. I saw several. So I'm not going to talk about the rest of them tonight because that's a lot. But I'm gonna be talking about these periodically through the episodes.
There's my favorite one that he needs to cover.
Yes.
Oh man! Now we're not ending the show yet because there is an obligatory. Jordan had his story too, and since we had to do a story, that motherfucker is too. I'm just saying.
Hit us with it, Jordan.
So I'll plug all the holes. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, end of the show. End of the show. Great show, guys.
His webcam just turns off. He's like, "All right, bye."
Yeah. Oh, baby's awake.
Oh yeah, sorry, baby.
No, so I had a quick one I thought was pretty interesting. That apparently this man who was 56, a German guy, just got arrested in May.
Okay.
And the reason why is because they didn't realize it till now. But since between the year 2000 and now, he's been working at the same company. And inexplicably, 21 of his coworkers have fallen ill and died.
What?
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Hold on. And is this like a job where he's getting their job every time they...
No. Yeah, is it like the promotion chain?
Nope.
Is he accidentally getting people sick?
Nope.
Is he poisoning them?
Yes. So they found out, and for no real good reason, or at least one hasn't been released yet, just over the course of the last 18 some odd years, he's been poisoning their food. So they just inexplicably get super sick and die.
What the fuck?
What is he poisoning them with?
Yeah, what is he poisoning them with?
So they don't know 100% for sure. They just
cyanide of some kind, I bet.
This one guy,
yeah, because it builds up in your system.
The last person that he tried to kill saw on his sandwich there was a suspicious white powdery substance. So he tells his manager, and his manager decides to put up some CCTVs, and that's how they caught him.
Holy shit!
So the cops,
so he was breaking up like pills and shit.
I guess. I mean, essentially, one of the after they arrested
never want to eat any food unless I made it.
Exactly, but that's the thing. It was the guy's sandwich. He was poisoning their food.
Yeah, he was breaking into the fridge and like.
What?
Yeah. So it was their food. So.
Whoa.
Am I hearing? Am I the only one who heard that? Jordan,
Is
say
it good
something?
now?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, that was weird. I have no idea what happened. Anyway,
my foot touched the cable at the same time, and I freaked the fuck out. I'm like, what did I break?
I was touching my mic boom at the same time. I was like, oh fuck, what did I do?
My foot
In
was on the
case-
cable as well, and I was like, oh shit.
In case this doesn't come out in the audio only version, Jordan sounded like Satan for a second. We're not sure if he's possessed. So if it doesn't come out all weird and Satany, just know that he might be the
You'll
devil.
never
So
know,
keep that in the
but-
back of your mind.
Let's all go have lunch.
Yeah, let's all go have lunch. I'm talking to this German guy. He's a great guy.
Right, yeah.
He showed me a few things. Let's have lunch.
Let's have lunch.
It'll be a good time.
Yup. So
It'll
anyway,
be the time of your life. What's left of it?
so once he got arrested,
right.
the German cops searched his home, and they found an abundance of chemicals like mercury, quicksilver,
Oh, Jesus
and
Christ.
lead acetate.
Holy shit, man.
He was hitting him with lead poisoning and mercury poisoning.
That's
Yep.
crazy.
That's legitimately terrifying. Because that's
Yep.
like brain damage. So
It is, except for I think that the ultimate poisoning would be if you can get a hold of rabies and infect somebody with rabies.
rabies is highly treatable now.
That would be
No, once you have it past
A certain point, yeah.
No. Like you got bit, you need to go get it taken care of.
Right.
And if you don't, you die. There's no
There's
not
a theory
dying
that's
from
what Edgar Allan
rabies.
Poe died of, was rabies.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't
See,
know.
we taught you something again.
Educational podcast.
education.
Don't eat food that someone else touched. Also, Edgar
When
Allan
you go to work,
What?
don't eat your lunch.
Yeah, don't eat your lunch. You know
So
what?
this
Just-
guy, then,
just so
he's
you
been
know.
convicted. He's in jail. I mean, right? Like,
He hasn't been convicted yet, but they've got a
He
pretty
going-
solid case.
he going-
he's
he going
going to
die.
jail. He's in jail. He's going to get convicted.
Yeah.
But yeah, 21 people over 18 years.
oh yeah, dude. Where's this
That's some
at?
serial killer shit.
Germany.
So does that have some?
Florida.
Do they? Yeah, right. Do they do death penalty there?
I don't know.
If they
actually.
do, I'm gonna go ahead and say he gets it.
Let me see.
100%. If they do the death penalty, he's gonna get.
Germany.
And you know, the irony,
Hmm.
they put the poison in his last meal.
That'd be crazy.
They just hit him with
Could you
it. They're just
imagine
like,
if that
yeah,
was a
here's your
thing?
last meal, and then it's just like, oh, this is weird. And they're like,
No,
yeah,
they-
feel good, does it, you jerk?
They banned capital punishment in 1949.
Oh Jesus, they haven't had the death penalty, huh?
Yeah,
Well, you know what? Go Germany. I respect that. You make them live their lives out as dogs in a kennel. Don't give them.
Honestly, they might not have death penalty, but I'm gonna go ahead and assume that being in jail, there is probably like,
Yeah, you want to die.
yeah.
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 And you know what? I prefer that. Like, people say the death penalty is wrong and it's cruel and all this stuff. And I can agree to a certain degree. Like, you know, ending a life, no matter what your circumstance or reason, is kind of fucked up. But my real reason for not wanting the death penalty is because it's too fucking quick for some of these assholes.
I
Some of them
agree
need
with
to fucking rot and
Yeah.
die, never seeing the sun again. That's how I feel. I'm against capital punishment because it goes too easy on them. I'm that kind of guy.
Well, yeah, but
those
jail, dude. Now I don't want to. And good story, Jordan. By the way,
Thank
Yeah, no, I like that.
Really,
Good job,
really
good job.
quick. An odd thing I never knew, and
What?
it's
Okay.
only 'cause I never looked it up. In all of the European Union,
Yeah.
every single one of them have abolished capital punishment.
Really?
Yeah, and during peacetime and during wartime, only 2 countries allow it: Belarus and Kazakhstan.
And that's because they're like, look, we need resources on other things. We can't watch these prisoners. We need to allow ourselves to kill some of them off. Also, prisoners of war.
yeah, that's why
Pretty
they do
much, yeah.
that.
And
Yeah.
also, another kind of related thing, just the last thing, in Utah,
Look
in
at
the
you
state
go.
of Utah, you can still choose firing squad.
You know what? I would.
I would too. I fucking
Because
would
you know
too.
what? All the best last lines
In Washington, hanging.
of I wouldn't choose hanging. Fuck that.
No, I wouldn't choose hanging. What if it's done wrong and you?
Yeah, if your neck
Double
doesn't break on the
strangle?
way down, yeah, no, fuck
man,
that.
that'd suck.
And
My whole
7
thing
states
is-
still have the electric chair. That's awesome.
I definitely wouldn't choose the electric chair. I'm
Florida-
not trying
Unless you
to.
don't get to choose. Like in Florida, you don't get to choose, right?
Yes,
or
you do. Florida's one of
Yeah.
those states.
that you choose what?
Mhm.
It's lethal injection or electric chair.
Yeah.
Now, do you choose or do they pick for you?
You get to choose.
Yeah, you get to choose.
So everyone chooses injection then.
Yep. Everyone chooses injection. But here's the thing that's terrifying about injection is the prisons were trying to get it done like cheap.
Mm-hmm.
And there's been a recent string of failed executions in Florida and in other states as well, to where they got the mixture wrong because the companies that they purchased from.
Yeah, I remember
like
that. That was like last year. I remember that.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And so like there's a bunch of people who just got like tortured to death for the ones that did kill. And then the ones who didn't
but then there was
kill.
this whole like, oh my God, this is so inhumane. But that's exactly what you're looking for.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, make it burn a little bit before they go out. Like, I don't like lethal injection for the fact that
they're getting the easy way out.
That's the euthanize. We're euthanizing you. We're numbing you. We're making it feel fine first, and then you get the medicine, and then
you're dying very peacefully.
And that's bullshit. And it shouldn't be fucking like that. You should get fried or hung or shot. But if I got to choose, I'd go firing squad, cigarette hanging out the mouth, blindfold, the whole nine. I think that'd be cool.
Well, that's the whole thing. Is there's so many badass lines. Like my favorite like last line was, you know, go ahead and shoot me. You're just shooting a man. Because like he was basically stating that I'm an idea. So if you kill me, you're just killing a man. My idea lives on. So fucking shoot. Do it.
Oh shit. Well,
that's some badass shit right there.
If
I'm going out, I want to go out with like a cool one-liner. We should actually prep just in case we die. It doesn't have to be execution, but just in case we're on our death's bed, right? We're laying there. What's going to be our final lines?
Mine would be, it's a little over an hour. Jordan, go ahead and plug our holes because we definitely fucking nailed it.
That's your last line.
That's a long sentence.
That's a long sentence. Are you gonna have enough breath in your death line?
Chances are I'm not gonna be there to actually respond.
Yeah, you will.
So you'll just look like an idiot.
No, it'll. Yeah, right.
I just want to say mine real quick.
Okay.
Mine's gonna be, what's the world gonna revolve around now?
Oh Jesus! End the show, Jordan.
End the show, please. I'm lost.
All right. Yeah, I'm pretty fucking tired. So, as always, of course, the best and most important place to follow us just for updates and everything would be Facebook. Just search for PBnJ paid or podcast. Sorry.
Yeah, not paid cast.
Not paid cast.
It's free.
You're not paying us.
Podcast. You can check us out on Twitter at PBnJ Podcast. Of course, on YouTube, you can watch the live.
Hit us with the tweets.
This very show.
Yeah.
Just search for PBnJ Podcast on YouTube.
Yeah, also, YouTube and then Twitch.
And you can catch us live on twitch.tv.
Yep. Twitch.tv/PBnJ Podcast.
Yep.
And for the high quality audio mastermind version,
the digital remaster,
PBnJpodcast.podbean.com.
Yeah, that's if
or your Google Play or your iTunes. You know,
it's all the same thing. They get it from there, but if you want to get it from the website as well, that's fine. I think there's even like a little follow button on our website too.
And you can also stream it directly from the website. You can just hit a play button. Yeah. So if you don't want to download them to where you like take up space.
Well, some people aren't allowed to use their, phones at work, but they can listen to stuff from their
work computer. So if you want to
don't fucking listen to us at work though, because we will get you fired, you dumbass.
No. Listen to us at work with headphones.
Yeah, that's true.
Don't tell them not to listen. Come
headphones and
I just don't want anybody to get fired and then be like, I'm not going to listen to your show anymore ever because you told me to listen at work.
Well, you can't say that because you got fired. Now you have no excuse not to listen.
That's true.
Now you have lots of free time to listen. So
get fired.
Caught up. You got 60 episodes now. 63. So you got a lot of episodes.
Good fucking point. Today. You know what? Listen to us. No headphones at work.
Get
really
fired,
loud,
and then have an enjoyable time listening to the rest of our show.
Mm-hmm.
Merry Christmas.
Yep.
You're welcome. All right, we nailed it.
Yeah, we nailed it.
I already stopped my recording. So long ago. No, I'm just kidding.
I stopped it when Bryce was talking about some weird shit with some kids in a cave. I don't know.
Oh man. Well, you know what? On that, we're gonna go ahead and say goodbye to the tubes as well as Tweech as well.
Tweech.
I know a couple people joined us tonight.
Yeah, we still have 3 viewers on YouTube.
Jimmy, my brother-in-law, I know was watching. He for some reason likes to watch us. I think so he can get material to make fun of me later, I assume. But
that's what I would do. You know what? I respect that, Jimmy.
And then, you know, I think Michael was in and out. But everybody who watches, especially if you watch the videos, we really appreciate it. I don't and you know, goodbye.
We'll see you.
We love you.
Yeah, we do. We love you. Bye.